My job when I was in the companies was I was the squad leader for a casket squad. So basically my men would fold the flag, I would take the flag and give it to either the mother or the wife of the fallen soldier. The families are never going to forget the funeral. A, that's important to remember. They will never forget a loved one's funeral. B, they're not going to forget a funeral where these men in uniform carried their loved one to wherever he was going to rest eternally, folded a flag, and then one of them gave the flag to whoever was surviving next to him. And you're going to be the last thought on their mind of the military, the army. The hardest for me, though, was always the kids crying. That really was horrible. Nobody wants to see little kids, without their father. You didn't realize it was the holidays because I was deployed to the Middle East, and they don't celebrate Christmas. So you would never see Christmas lights or Christmas trees, or it wasn't something you thought of. It's something you knew was going on back home, but that was a world away. So you missed everyone. You got to call them and send them emails and stuff, but at the same time, you were with your family in the Middle East. The guys that I was serving with, that's who I was with.
Would you say that your buddies helped you through that time?
Absolutely. I think that going through hard situations makes your bonds with relationships stronger. Just knowing that they were there was a huge help because you were never alone. You got into firefights and the IEDs, the roadside bombs. Those things would happen, but you were never alone. You always had your friends you could count on, the guys you worked with, and that was just knowing that they were there was the hugest lift for me anyway. It's funny. Being a Christian, one thing I found interesting about being in Iraq was the fact that almost every house I went into, they had posters. They decorate their houses and posters on the inside. And almost every house I went into, they had posters of Mary and Jesus, even though they were Muslims. And then I asked, I think when I first got to Baghdad, a family why they had that. And they said that in their religion, in Islam, that Jesus was a great prophet. And it just blew my mind. I'd never known that, Jesus was such a big force in Islam. So that was very strange to me. But it was interesting to me as well. More interesting than strange, I guess.